Go over just the different ways to actually find events. 22 different ways to find events. So let's see who's hopping on real quick, and then let's get going. There we go. So let's see who pops on. All right, so today is literally all about how do you actually find the gigs. I'm going to list the different ways to find events. Finding events is actually the easiest part of getting on a stage. Finding an event, literally, in fact, I'll tell you which one's my favorite in a second, but literally all you do when you're finding events is you just build up a huge list of events and then you contact them later, which we'll talk about in a whole other video. But to find the events, I think the reason why so many speakers have a hard time finding events is because they don't understand the process of prospecting. When you look for events, it's really, really simple. And the reason why speakers struggle so much is because they put the entire process of getting hired into finding events. So what's up, Ari? What's up, Maggie? What's up, Nick? What's up, Israel? Paul, Tamika, or Takimia? Dang it, I keep messing that up. Takimia. All right, so Juanita, what's up? What up, Micah? All right, so like I said, today we're just going to talk about the different ways to actually find events. And this works any industry, any country, doesn't really matter. The reason why so many speakers struggle in terms of finding events is because they're doing too many things at once. So they don't just find the event. They're thinking about finding the event, finding the email address, finding the right person to contact, knowing what to say when they contact them. Oh, what if they don't respond? They're thinking about the whole process, whereas finding the events is just one small step to the actual overall process. So let's talk about the different ways to do this. And by the way, guys, if you have any questions, make sure you ask. Speaking of, the first one in terms of finding events, it's not really a method of finding events, but what you do is you ask better questions. So whenever speakers say, how do I find events? How do I find speaking opportunities? That is almost a guaranteed way to get a bad answer. Because it's almost like saying, how do I grow my business? It's a bad question because it's not specific enough. It's kind of like, well, what business do you have? I mean, how are you generating sales right now? So there's all kinds of other questions within that question. And the same goes with, how do I find events? And so if you want to find events, you simply ask a better question. So think about what goes through your head when I say, how do you find events? Or how do I find events? What goes through your head? Really nothing. I mean, well, if you're a Speak Pro member, you have an idea, but if you're not a member and you don't know what I teach, you're thinking like, I don't really know. On the other hand, if I said to you, how do I find a TEDx event that I can speak at? Well, now I'm getting more specific. You see, now you can just say, oh, all right, let me Google TEDx events in Las Vegas or TEDx events in LA. So now because I'm more specific, now it's easier to find an event. Or if I say, hey, how do I speak at the Traffic and Conversion Summit event? I need to find this event. I want to speak there. Bam. Because I'm very specific, I now can easily find the event, put it into a spreadsheet. So that's literally the first way, very simple way. The other ways are very technical. Actually, no. So number 2, I put here, be an event hound. So this is what a lot of people don't realize when it comes to finding events is that when I say event hound, what I mean is that there's events all around you. You just don't see them. So like, especially here, I'm here in Vegas. Every casino, I could literally find an unlimited amount of events without even searching the internet. I could literally just go to every single hotel, casino out here and just look to see the list of events that are going on. Oh, that's another way. But basically, what you're doing is you're becoming an event hound. You're seeing an event in everything. Literally, there's a McDonald's over there. I look at McDonald's and I see, okay, they probably do an event. So let me hit them up and let's see. So what you do is you become an event hound. When you're on the internet, you're going through Facebook and you're just searching through. You see an ad for an event. You see any type of ad. You see someone talking about an event. Someone posting, oh, I just went to this event. It sucked or whatever. You go to the Facebook groups. People are talking about events. All of it is there. You just have to open your eyes and see it. So that's what I mean by becoming an event hound. You literally, in articles that you read. So when I read articles, I have like Feedly on my phone. So I just, every morning I just kind of check the Feedly. I'm like scrolling through and let's say there's an article on just technology. Oh, the Samsung Fold phone is coming out. And all of a sudden I read, oh, they're going to announce it at this event. And I'm thinking, oh, event, huh? And bam, I got another lead right there. And so that's what I mean by being an event hound. You see an event everywhere. There's nowhere you don't see an event. So the third method in terms of actually finding events is a method that I guarantee damn near nobody really uses, which everyone should be using. You should be going to, let's see, So you should basically be going to meeting planner websites. So like bizbash.com. Let me show you guys the website. So bizbash.com, I should be able to just go to websites with meeting planners. I should be able to just look around, read some of the articles that they have, and look at all these leads here. So whoever this person, Anna Winter, I can contact her. Let's see. Yeah, whoever that person is, I can click on one of these. There's going to be other people in there. Whoever's here with this thing, whoever they talk about in that article, literally I'm just searching through all these articles on their websites. So that's what you do with these meeting planner magazines, to where you literally just go to their websites. There's bizbash.com, there's meetingsconventions.net. You just go to those websites. And then ultimately you're just kind of looking around with articles. You see names in articles. Oh, Jane Doe, she planned so-and-so event. Oh, John Doe did this. And oh, they love this speaker. And so you're simply just with that, literally what I just said. You have one name who planned the event, Jane Doe. You have John Doe who plans events. Oh, they hired this speaker. So now you go to that speaker's website. Now you check out to see what events he's done, he's been hired for. So just literally 3 words, and then bam, you have an unlimited amount of events. And so that's what you're doing in terms of going to these meeting planner websites. The fourth method is essentially Facebook. So Facebook, I mean, you go to Facebook and you can just use the hashtag conference, hashtag annual award banquet, hashtag gala, whatever you want to do on Facebook. Or I mean, well, what you want to do on Facebook is type in hashtag so-and-so. It's like use these hashtags on Facebook in order to actually find the events. When you find those events through the hashtag, what's going to happen is you'll see all the people, they'll just post the pictures. Oh, I'm at this event. Oh, cool. They're posting pictures, hashtag it. Bam. You simply just copy and paste that actual event, and then you put it into your CRM, and bam, you got another lead. So that's the fourth way. The fifth way is Twitter. The same thing with Twitter. You just go to Twitter, you use the hashtags, keywords, say hashtag meeting profs, hashtag annual award banquet, hashtag conference. You just use all these hashtags. An unlimited amount of events are going to pop up. All you do is you take those events, put them into a spreadsheet, put them into a CRM, whichever one you want to do, whichever one's faster for you. That's what you're doing when you're finding those events. The sixth method is Instagram. And I actually use Instagram pretty often. So with Instagram, it's the same thing, hashtags, keywords. The thing with Instagram is, you get to obviously see the pictures, and then with Instagram, a lot of times I'll actually just DM them right there and then. I won't even get the email. I'll just DM them. I'll just be like, okay, man, there we go. And like, that's literally what I'll do on Instagram. And then after, so I'll DM something really simple, usually the email number 1. And then after that, if they say, yes, I'm in charge, then I'll pitch them. I'll do the whole sequence right there and then. And so the good thing about Instagram is that you have your profile there for people to see. It may not be a lot of pictures or whatever of you on a stage, but hopefully there's some. Hopefully it's not a lot of pictures of you eating pizza or ice cream or whatever, and it makes 0 sense. But if you're going to use Instagram that way, then make sure that your Instagram profile is good to go, that you look like a freaking rock star on your profile. So I use Instagram a lot. So that's the sixth way. I do want to stress the importance of it comes down to how you think about everything. So the hashtags, keywords, all this stuff, it literally just comes down to how you think about this stuff. What people are doing is they're thinking too far in advance. They're not thinking about finding events. They're thinking about find the event, find the contact person, find the email, or what do I say to them? They're thinking about all these things. All you think about is finding the event. That's all you do. So the seventh way is LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn is perfect if you are definitely in a specific industry on LinkedIn. So let's say sales. If I was a sales speaker, I'd freaking own LinkedIn. I would go to LinkedIn. I'd get their LinkedIn sales navigator. I would look at the sales managers all across the world. I'd contact every single sales manager all day, every day. Like bam, I'd have an unlimited amount of leads just through LinkedIn. I literally would not use anything else other than LinkedIn probably if I was a sales speaker. And so, LinkedIn, obviously a good way. I do not recommend you mailing anybody on LinkedIn though. So I don't recommend you sending a message on LinkedIn. The reason is because damn near every single message on LinkedIn is pretty much spam, and everybody knows that when you go to your LinkedIn account. you instantly see, oh yeah, it's damn near everyone's spam. Hi, so-and-so, if I can help you in any way, let me know. And so it's all spam on LinkedIn. So nobody really responds to much. So I would actually just get the email. I would still use their LinkedIn, by the way. So let's say I would first send an email. I would try to connect with them on email first. If I can't do that on an email, then I'll go to LinkedIn, then I'll do other things. But I always start with the email, especially if I'm on LinkedIn. The other method in terms of getting gigs, number 8, are associations. If you go to asae.com, I think, asaecenter.org, go there. ASAE is like the Association of Associations, and they actually have a list of associations. Well, they used to have a list for everybody. Now I think you got to be a member to actually get access to the list. But who knows? Maybe you could say, hey, I want to be a member. Can you just show me the list first? Maybe you can do that to them. But ASAE is just a huge list of associations that you can actually get. So I recommend doing that. You can actually look up association directory or associations in Las Vegas or associations in Florida, whatever you want to do, associations in. So you can look that up as well. And I do not, when I Google stuff or just search stuff in a different city or state or whatever, it doesn't have to be local for me. So I'll Google something like award banquets in Florida, award banquets in Dallas, Texas. I'll do that despite me being here in Vegas. And I'll just do that because, once again, all these other events are going to pop up that I can contact. So that's what I'm doing. So number 8 is associations. Number 9 is what I mentioned earlier with the hotels and casinos. This is what I used to do all the freaking time. Like all the time. I would always crash events. Because I'm a performer, what I would do is I would crash these events and I would perform for people. I just walk in as if I was hired to be there, and I would just start performing some close-up mentalism. Like, hey, think of a word. All right, here's a word you're thinking of. All right, I'm going to guess how much money you got in your pocket. $132.22. And so I would do all this stuff and be like, oh my goodness, I get testimonials and everything. And at the same time, I would introduce myself to the person in charge. Now, sometimes I wouldn't actually crash the event. Like, let's say I don't have time. For some reason, I'm just at the hotel or casino. A lot of times, and I do this almost every time actually, I will look at the list of events that's going on. And you notice how almost all the hotels and casinos, they have a list of events that are going on. So I'll look at that list and I'll usually take a screenshot of it. I'll take a picture of it. So, in fact, you guys can see the screen here. So I'll just take a picture of this. And then once I have the picture, I know, okay, here's all the events that are going on. So later on, I'll Google those events and I'll just put them into the CRM. Just bam, here's some people I can contact. And it lets me know that they actually do like events and stuff. And a lot of times, if I have the time, I will actually go to the room that the event is being held in. So like if you see here, you see it says exhibit Imperial Salon B. And so I don't know how big that room is. Like, I don't know if it's small, big. I don't know anything. So what I'll do is I'll actually go to those rooms and then I'll actually say like, okay, this room, I'll usually do it on my phone. Like, okay, what was that event? So exhibits. And so I'll just say like, okay, this event, the room is only about 20 people. Okay, so I'll put that in there, like, oh, a 20-person event. And now I'll do that all the time. If I see that it's in the big grand ballroom, I'll do the same thing, like, oh, 500 plus people. So I always do that because remember, I want that lead score. So remember the lead score, if you guys don't remember what that is basically just a list of qualities that an event has that's more likely to hire you. So what I want to do is I want to get that lead score as fast as possible. So when I'm actually looking at a hotel or a casino and I see a list of events, if I have time, I'll go to those rooms. And even if there's people in the rooms, I don't care. I'll just freaking I'll literally open up the door and just look inside. Oh, my bad. Like, literally, I don't care. I'll just look inside. And so, that's what I'll do because I want to get that lead score. So that was the 9th way. The 10th way in terms of finding events is just colleges, really. So with colleges, what you want to do is you want to go through NACA or APCA. So APCA is like a smaller version of NACA, but NACA is like the granddaddy where every single person who can book you is there. Now, it is for entertainers, pretty much. Or I don't think pretty much. I think it is for entertainers, but that doesn't matter. See, if I'm a speaker, I want to be around the people who can hire me. And so if I go there, if I just get a booth there, you're going to be around everybody who can hire you. I mean, I don't mean some people. I mean everybody, damn near every person you talk to at NACA will be able to say, yeah, we want to bring you in. Everybody. And so, yeah, you got to pay for it. Like, you got to sign up, be a member, and you got to pay for the thing, which is kind of expensive, but still, it's worth it. If you book one gig, I mean, you get all your money back. So that's a 10th way in terms of actually doing that. Even if you're a corporate speaker, you can still do that. Like, colleges, it's really the easiest way to get on a stage, or the easiest way in terms of finding events, because colleges, all you do is Google college directory. Bam, you have a list of colleges. If you want to get more strategic, you go to NACA, or you go to the APCA. You go to one of those because all the buyers are right there. And by the way, guys, remember, if you have any questions, make sure you ask right now, because when I'm done, I'm going to come back and I'm going to look, see if there are any questions. If there aren't any questions, then we'll just be done. All right. So let's see. Zelly said, what is NACA? So I think I explained NACA, right? Maybe you asked a question before I explained it, but yeah, NACA is literally, I can't remember what it stands for. But NACA is literally just, it's a showcase for entertainers. So here's what NACA is. So NACA is like this huge showcase, like a massive showcase where all these colleges go to this showcase, or all the colleges, all the people who can hire entertainment for the college, they go to this showcase. And usually, if you want to showcase, you got to pay to be on the stage, or maybe like your talent agency pay for you, whatever. But basically, you got to pay to be on a stage. You showcase for 10, 15 minutes, do your thing, and then everyone's watching, and they're like, yeah, let's book him. And then bam, you fill up your entire schedule in literally 2 days. Like 2 days, your entire year is filled up. Because they do block bookings. So let's say you book an event out, you book a college, UNLV out here, then all of a sudden you can block book with the community colleges out here in Vegas as well. And so it's things like that. So you literally fill up your entire calendar just instantly. And so that's what they do. That's what NACA is. So they're showcasing. Now, as a speaker, I've never really seen a speaker showcase at NACA, but I'm sure you can. I'm sure they'll take your money. They don't mind. So if you're a great speaker, go ahead. Even if you don't want to actually showcase, you can still go get a booth. And once again, remember, there's going to be all those people there who can hire you. So all you do is you just network. Or even better, you don't even need a booth. What you can do, and this is what a guy did. He's a photographer. I remember going to the Mr. Olympia with my brother, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years ago. And this guy, he's a really well-known photographer in the industry, and he didn't get a booth. Instead, what he did, he was just walking around to everybody. He was like, hey man, hey Arnold Schwarzenegger, hey, what's up? Yeah, hey, so-and-so, yeah, what's up, everybody? He was just walking around to everybody else's booth, and he was just networking like that. Because if you have a booth, you have to stay there. Whereas if you don't, you go everywhere. And so he was able to get more business cards and network more by not having a booth, just by paying to be there. And so you can do the same thing with NACA. So number 11 is very similar in terms of number 10 with colleges, but instead of you going to NACA or the APCA, you just contact the college campus. Like you talk to the campus activities director. That's what you do. You just literally just look for emails on the college website. And if you can't see like campus activities, just contact anybody. Just like, hey, I'm looking for the campus activities, the people who bring in entertainment and speakers. Who do I talk to? And so that's all you do. You just contact campus activities. That's why I said high schools and colleges are literally the easiest to find, because all you do is Google college directory, or high schools in Las Vegas, high schools in Colorado. That's all you do. And then bam, you have a huge list. Number 12 is using Google Alerts or TalkWalker. This is something that I used to use all the time back in the day with Google Alerts. With Google Alerts, what you can do is you can set up an alert for your name or whatever you want. Like you set up an alert. So whenever someone types it in, or whenever there's like a Google post or something, it'll alert you. It'll say like, hey, we have a new alert for Benji Bruce. And then it'll say, there's a new blog post that mentions your name or something like that. So what I did is I just took those alerts and I used keywords. I said, marketing conference, annual employee event, gala, award banquet. And I just used those type of keywords. I set up an alert for all of them. And then bam, I just had the email sent to me. And what I do recommend is you get a separate email address, one that's not connected to your phone. Get a separate email, or you can connect to your phone, but just get a separate email address, because what's going to happen is you're going to get a gang load of freaking emails. Like Google, if you do a few keywords, like if you do, let's say 10 keywords, you're going to get so many emails, it's going to be ridiculous. Like so many emails every single day, it'll be a lot. You can change it to be like weekly or something like that, but I wanted it daily because once again, I'm contacting events daily. So what I did is I just set up a separate email address for the sole purpose of having all these events sent to that email address because of Google Alerts and TalkWalker, same thing. TalkWalker. And then bam, you just see all these events, and all you do, you click on the email, you look at the event, copy paste it into CRM, bam, you now have an event, you now have a lead. So you're good to go. I use that method for a really long time. The other method, method number 13 is Google. This is hands down my favorite method out of all the methods. Like I literally sat down, I thought of all these different methods. Google was the first method that I ever used because it was just common sense. I'm like, well, I could just go to Google, type stuff in. And then I thought, like every other speaker, I'm like, well, what are the other ways to find events? Like I was trying to think of other ways. That's when I got creative and I started thinking of all the other ways that I'm about to list and all the ways I did list, but I was getting creative with all the ways. But once again, I kept coming back to Google. Every single time I just come back to Google. It's like, well, let me just Google gala. Let me Google award banquet. I would just keep coming back to Google every single time. And that's all I would do. With Google, what I would do is, let me show you guys. So let's see, award banquet. So with Google, there's like a million different ways you can do this. So like I can easily just type in a keyword. Now I have 125 million events I can search through. I can go over here to tools. I can go where it says anytime and I can click on the past week. So now a bunch of new events pop up, like all these new events pop up from the past week. I can go to the past month, past year, all that sort of stuff, right? So and then once again, I'm just looking at this event. The ACLU says video shows any appropriate awards handed out at high school. Okay. So bam, I could click on that, see whatever that high school is. I can contact that high school if I want to do those. This says Jamestown Bar Association Award Banquet. So now I just Google Jamestown Bar Association Award Banquet, contact them. Sometimes, well, no, I won't mention that. But basically, that's what I'm doing. Literally, all I'm doing is just using Google. That's literally my favorite method to actually find events. The next method is DMCs. DMC stands for Destination Management Company. It's very similar to a speaker bureau, except they basically do everything. They don't just so it's almost like when you go to a hotel and you plan an event, the hotel has their own people who are going to help you with the event. But it's only if you're doing it at their hotel. Then you have meeting planners, event planners, where you hire them and they work for you. So if you want to do an event anywhere, they help you plan that whole thing. And so that's what a DMC is. A DMC helps you plan anywhere. They do everything. They're basically your meeting planner. So the DMC, they usually deal with the big companies coming from like China over here doing an event, things like that. But you can contact DMCs the same way you'd contact speaker bureaus and be like, hey son, I'm the greatest speaker of all time. Bring me in if you want your people from China to be wowed. And then that's what you do. And then they'll be like, yeah, sure. Why not? So number 15 is what I mentioned earlier is you crash events. Crashing events, like I said, I did this a lot. You don't need to crash events and perform like I did, especially if you're not a performer, but you can crash events and just start talking to people. So a perfect example is my brother. So my brother, there's a MGM not too far from here, just on the strip. And there was a time when a friend of mine, he was singing, he was like opening for someone, some famous person, can't remember which person, but he was opening for them. So I got a backstage pass into MGM, and they give you like this bracelet thing to get backstage. And it's everywhere you go, someone's going to ask you like, where's your bracelet? Where's your bracelet? And at the time I was wearing a suit, so I was like trying to get by. I'm like wearing a suit. I'm trying to walk with confidence to see if anyone's going to say anything to me, like as if I own the place, like. But still, they stop you. Sir, where's your bracelet? And so what happened after that experience, I'm like, damn, security's top notch. Then, let's say a year, 2 years later, whatever, basically Stevie Wonder is going to be performing at MGM, and my brother's going. And I told my brother, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get backstage and all that. I was like, nah, I don't think that's gonna happen. Like, their security is top notch. I've been there when my friend freaking gave me a freaking backstage pass. Like, I don't know. But my brother, he's a talker. And so what happened was after the whole concert, I mean, he just started talking with the security guy right there. He was just talking to the dude. Yeah, I mean, it's Stevie Wonder, and oh yeah, and just talk. I mean, just freaking talking. Like my brother just started talking to him, and then before he knew it, he's backstage talking with Stevie Wonder, meeting up with Stevie Wonder, getting the dude's contact information, the manager's contact information, everything. And he just talked his way back to the event. And so that's what I mean by crashing events. You just go to an event and you just start talking to the people, and so. You're very strategic in terms of who you talk to. So it's not like my brother just talked to anybody at the event. He talked to the bodyguard, the person who could actually just let him through. So it's one of those things where you can just crash an event, go to any hotel, see an event going on, and just start talking to people like, hey, so what's this event? Oh, this is actually an event about nutrition. Oh, really? So I mean, like a Herbalife type thing? Oh, no, yeah, something similar. Okay. So I mean, well, whose event is it? Oh, it's Jane over there. Oh, cool. So what do you guys think? Oh, it's a great event. Can you introduce me to Jane real quick? And it's, yeah, I haven't met her, but still just introduce me anyways. So it's like, that's literally what you're doing. You're just going through, you're walking into an event and you're just talking to people. That's all you literally do. All right, so number 16, so that was 15. Number 16 is multiple company events. So when you get hired by a company or company, college, whatever, when you get hired by anybody, what you need to do is for all you Speak Pro members, use the referral method inside the program. So that's week number 8, Speak Pro Academy. But what you have to do is you have to figure out how to actually book multiple events based on one event. And so a lot of companies, especially if they're big and they do multiple events, then what you need to do is just figure out, how do I get booked by the other events? That's what you ultimately try to do. So if it's a sales organization, more often than not, they have the national, the regional, they have all these different segments. And so you're simply just saying like, oh, okay, you guys hired me for this region. How about that region? How about the Northwest region? What about the South region? What about national? Do you guys do a national? That's what you're doing. So you're trying to get booked by multiple events. And so there's a whole process in terms of how to do that. For all you Speak Pro members, go to week 8. But there's a whole process on how to do that. Just keep that in mind. You don't just get booked for one gig. You're focusing on getting multiple events. That's what you do. The other method is what I kind of mentioned earlier, is another speaker's success. So what you do with speakers is most speakers will post a lot of stuff about their events that they're doing. They'll post the testimonials on their website, testimonials on Instagram, all that stuff, and they'll list the name of the event. They'll say, oh, I just got hired by so-and-so bar association, and they'll post that they're out in Florida. So okay, this bar association hires speakers and they're out in Florida. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna Google that bar association, bam, they're a new lead. And so with these, you just need to understand that very few events will ever hire a speaker repeatedly. Like they won't hire you back to back, just because it's like anything. If you go on a vacation this year, you don't do the exact same vacation next year and the year after. No matter how much you liked it, you still don't do it. And it's very rare for someone to repeat the exact vacation. And so the same goes with speakers. They will love a speaker. They will like a speaker, love him. He's the greatest speaker of all time. And they still will not bring you back for next year just because they want something different. It's not about who's better, whatever. They just want something different. Knowing this, you look at what speakers are posting today so you can get hired next year, like for the next time. And so that's what you do. And what I do with this, I look for speakers who are essentially on my level or above my level, a little bit above. So I'm not going to contact somebody who hired Tony Robbins, because I know, like, all right, I'm not on Tony Robbins' level yet. Maybe tomorrow, but I'm not yet. All right. So I know that. I'm self-aware. So I know I'm not going to get paid $1 million. What I'll do though is I'll look for a speaker and I'll see, is this guy charging 30 grand or whatever? And one of the things I'll do is I'll go to the Speaker Bureau's websites. Let me make sure I didn't list that thing. Okay. Yeah, I guess I kind of did list it. But what I'll do is I'll basically look to see, in terms of speakers, what do they charge? So I'll look at the Speaker Bureau's websites, and if it says this speaker, their fee is anywhere between $15,000 and $30,000, I'll say, okay, cool. And what I'll do is anything, I think about 15,000, 10 to 15,000 is where I'll really like look at them, because you have to remember with Speaker Bureau websites, whatever fee you see there, it's probably an old fee. So like I can look at the Speaker Bureau websites that I'm on. They still have me at like 7,500. No matter how many times I send them an email, dude, my fee, put that crap up to minimum 25 grand. They still don't do it. It's still freaking 7,500. And so what you need to understand is that when you go to Speaker Bureau's website, you see another speaker with their fee range, don't take it, just don't take it. Just assume that it's not right. Assume that it's about there, but assume that it's not right. So all I'm doing is I'm just looking at another speaker. I'm going to their website, looking at their Instagram, looking at their Facebook, looking at their Twitter, looking at their Instagram, whatever it is. I'm just looking at another speaker's website. I'm just looking to see who hired them. Those are the people I'm going to contact for next year. That's all I'm doing. The next method is where I use e-speakers. So a lot of speakers use e-speakers to sign up. I never really signed up for these websites. I signed up for a website a long time ago called Gig Masters, another one called Gig Salad. I was like, this thing is crap. And eventually I was like, it's stupid. I can just do outreach and I'm good to go. So what I started doing with e-speakers and Gig Masters and all these places is I noticed that e-speakers, and I haven't been to Gig Masters in a while, but what happens is people will post reviews on a speaker or entertainer. They'll post the reviews. And on those, in fact, let me show you guys a screen. So on those, you'll actually see it'll say so-and-so's keynote was amazing, whatever. And then it literally says the actual company. It says, WC Executive Director, Nevada Public Agency Insurance Pool, verified, so-and-so. So once again, here it says, BS President, Souders Marcom. So I'm just going to take these. I'm just going to Google them. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to Google those companies. I'm going to contact them. Same thing. So I'm not actually signing up to e-speakers. I'm just looking to see, hey, this speaker charges 20 grand. Let's see what testimonials he got. All right. Let me contact these guys as well. Bam. I now got some new leads. So that's what I'm doing with those. The other one, well, I guess 19 is other speakers' schedules that they post online. So if you ever see a speaker who posts their schedule online, once again, new leads for you. If you ever go to a speaker's website and it says, here's a list of his speaking engagements, new leads. You copy and paste those leads. You can contact them for next year, the year after that, whenever you want. But anytime I see a speaker schedule, I'm just like, oh, bam, cool, save this. That's what I'm doing. The number 20 is events with entertainers. So for all you speakers out there, you're like, I'm not an entertainer. I don't really do some of this. What you need to do is you need to look at entertainers, see what events they've been hired for, and contact those events. You have to remember that companies hire people just for the culture, just for the fun. They're adding to the experience of the event. That's the purpose of having an entertainer there. And so they're willing to bring in a motivational speaker if that motivational speaker is entertaining as all hell. So all you do is you look up all these magicians, mentalists, hypnotists, jugglers, look them up, do the exact same thing. You look to see what events are they getting hired by, what testimonials do they have. You're looking up all that stuff. And you're simply contacting those events for next year. You don't say you're an entertainer. You say you're a motivational speaker with an insanely entertaining presentation. Here's some videos that you can watch. So that's what you're doing. You're using entertainers to just do that. You look at what they post on Twitter, what they post on Instagram, what they have on their website, Facebook, everything. I'm telling you, there's events everywhere. You just got to learn to see them. Number 21 is trade shows. So trade shows, if you go to tsnn.com, trade shows, what you can do on trade shows, if you're an entertainer like Alex can just go to that website, just contact him, and bam, you just get a ton of trade show gigs. But if you're just a speaker, what you do is you go to tsnn.com. You can download a list of exhibitors. You can click on any one of those trade shows going on, download a list of exhibitors, and poof, you have a ton of companies to contact. How do you know they hire speakers? You don't. You don't know until you contact them. But what you're doing is you're looking for events, or you're looking for companies that basically spend money on things like that. They spend money on going to a trade show. So that's what I do with the trade shows. And then number 22 is, where do the meeting planners hang out? That's where you need to be. And what I mean by that is there's SHRM, like stands for Society of Human Resource Management. This is like the ton of meeting planners pretty much. There's MPI, AD, MEI, convention bureaus, IAEE, ICCA, ISES, PCMA, Pharma Forum, ASAE. There's all sorts of stuff, okay? But ultimately what you're doing is you're looking to see where do these meeting planners hang out. And by the way, if you want this article, if you guys haven't actually seen this article, go to speakinglifestyle.com/finding-speaking-gigs, and you'll see all the 22 different ways to find the events. But what you're ultimately doing, the reason why so many speakers get confused on all this is because they're thinking about too many things. So like, remember what I said with TSNN.com? TSNN.com, it doesn't make sense in terms of finding events for speakers. Because it's like, hey, these people, they're doing trade shows. They just set up a trade show booth. They want traffic to come to their trade shows. They want people to come. They want people to go to their booth. They want to sell stuff or whatever. They're not there to bring in a motivational speaker. But what you're doing is you're just looking to see, oh, there's companies that I can contact. That's what you're doing with the trade shows. And so how do you know they pay? You don't. You just don't, no matter what. Even if you know they pay with 100% certainty, you don't know if they're going to pay you. And so that's why you contact them. This is why I tell everybody finding the events is just the first part. It's literally step 1 out of 100 steps. So if you think that you're going to get on a stage just because you found an event, then you need to slap yourself silly, because you got to go through a whole process. But those are the different ways to actually find the events. Now let's see if there are any questions real quick. So let's see. You said, is it important to get a TEDx event? Absolutely not. Yeah, let's answer that one. It's absolutely not important to get a TEDx event. I don't know why so many speakers want to do TEDx events. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like writing a book. It just got stuck in everybody's heads. Like, I got to do a TED event. I got to do a TED event. And it's just one of those you don't have to do. It's like, just go make money instead. Let's see. You said, how do you get the email address for the people at the different associations if they're not listed in their LinkedIn profile or wherever you find the info about the event online? So very rarely does someone not post any information to contact them. So this is one of the questions where you can't ask this question until you start doing it, because you'll find that it's very rare that you will ever not find an email address. So it's one of those things where when you start implementing, the solution will come. So you can't sit down and say, like, how do I find emails and all that? It's like, all you do is just go find an event. I guarantee you're going to find an email address. Guarantee there's a way to contact people. It's very rare that a website has zero contact information. Like, you can't contact them in any way. It's very, very rare. If they don't, just skip them. Just move on. No events that important. But in terms of email address, just go to their, go to the contact page, click Command F if you have a Mac. Click Command F on the Mac and type in the @ symbol, or type in email, or type in contact, and it'll pop up somewhere there. But in terms of finding the events or finding the emails, the way you find the emails is once you implement, you'll see. Like, that's the real answer. You'll see once you implement. All right, got that. Oops. Yeah, and I do use Email Hunter. Elio pointed that out. So let's see. Zaley said, thank you for all the cool. Perfect pronunciation of my name. Cool. All right, what's up, Tammy? Let's see. What's up, Canada? All right, let's see. Any other questions? So you said, what CRM do you use and what free ones can you recommend? So I use Zendesk Sell. It used to be Base CRM. Now they changed it to Zendesk Sell. You can use HubSpot for a free one. So let's see. So we got that. So you said, I have a friend who crashes events all the time just by looking like he belongs there. Yep. Let's see. You said, I got into a speech by President Obama by chatting up some of the legitimate guests. I wasn't even asked for ID. It was awesome. Cool. Yeah, I mean, exactly. If you just start talking to people, then you'll see little things like that happen. Let's see. Wani said, how do you go faster with so Wani, so change it to outreach instead of reach outs. Okay. So this is just the term outreach. So you say, how do you go faster with outreach? I'm finding events, putting minimal contact into the CRM, using Yesware to send emails. Tried to hit 100 yesterday, only got up to 40. How the hell do you and others send out 100 emails per day? What you're using inside of Yesware is the mail merge function, or the one where you send multiple emails all at once. I don't know if that's called mail merge or something else, but what happens with Yesware is you can just send an email all at once. You literally you just say, it'll insert the information that you put in there. So to say, hi, Wani, I saw your Salesforce event. I was wondering who hires the speakers at that event. And so to just insert that and to say like, hi, John, I saw your Marketing 101 conference, who hires the speakers for that event. And so what you're doing with Yesware is you simply tell it to insert their name and the name of the event, and then it fills in the rest for you, and then poof, you send out an email to everybody all at once. Wani, if you're not a Speak Pro member, yeah, I mean, are you a Speak Pro member? Because if you are, then the answer is inside the Event Finder section. But if not, that's like a quick answer to that. So let's see. You say start at 200 for a week. Can't imagine 200 a day. What's going to happen? So the reason why you guys can't imagine 200 a day is just because you haven't practiced it enough to send that many emails. So it's like Dave Davlin got to a point where he's sending so many emails. His hosting company literally said, you're taking up too much space on the servers. You got to pay for more. And obviously he doesn't mind paying because he's getting booked. So it's one of those things where he got to that point where they're saying like, you're sending too many emails, you're taking up all the space on our server. He did that because he knows the process. Like he knows how to split his time. So here's what happens. Here's why people go slow. Well, there's a million reasons why people go slow, but the biggest reasons why I see people go slow in terms of contacting events is they're doing too many things at once. So when they do a Google search, let's say Google search, my favorite method, do a Google search for a award banquet, and then instead of just copying and pasting that into their CRM or spreadsheet, instead of just copying and pasting the link or the just minimal information and then moving on to the next event, what they do is they click on the link, they're looking around on the website, they're like, so who's the right person to contact? I see 5 different email addresses here. Who's the right person to contact? I mean, is this an event that I really want to do? And then 10 minutes later, they haven't even freaking moved on to the next event. They spent 10 minutes on one freaking event. And that's why people go so slow. And so it's little things like that's causing you to not be able to send that many emails every single day. So yeah, what I recommend, you just split everything up. You get to the point where it's like an insane level of focus. So it's like, you just get to a point where it's an insane level of focus. You split everything up as much as you can. So even when I'm on my phone and I'm taking pictures on the phone, and let's say I edit a few pictures on the phone, and then I got to resize the pictures. What I can do is I can edit a picture and then resize it and then send it to the computer. Okay. I can do that. Or what I do is I edit, let's say 10 pictures all at once. I resize 10 pictures all at once, and then I send 10 pictures all at once to the computer. By doing that, I go faster because I'm only focusing on one activity in that moment. My mind doesn't have to switch to different activities. It's just like bam, 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 bam. It's just real quick. And so that's what you have to do when you're finding the emails, when you're sending emails. That's what you have to do to actually get it down to where it's really quick. But also I do want to keep in mind that don't focus on speed in the beginning, especially. Just focus on getting it right. Just do it right at first. It's like anything. If you're practicing anything, any sport, whatever, you do it right at first, then you go faster. Because if you go fast, then you're going to end up doing everything the wrong way. You're going to learn it the wrong way. And then before you know it, you're going to be like, why is this not working? I'm sending 1 million emails a day. It's not working. Well, you're sending me 1 million emails a day and it's not working because you're spam. And so you don't want to go fast and compromise the quality of your email. So if you have to choose between two, going fast and having sucky emails, or going slow and having great emails, go slow every single time. Even if you send 10 emails a day, that's better than sending 100 sucky ass emails a day. And so that's what you really want to do. It's not about speed. Eventually you're going to get faster, but in the beginning, you just say, let me just get this right. And then once you get it right, then you start thinking, all right, let me go faster. All right. So you said, when I MC, I come back 90% of the time. I've done one company. Cool. Oh yeah. MCs are very different. MCs, they get hired back all the time. All right. So you said, how do you become a top fan? I love this guy, Benji. Yeah, I love Benji too. Dude's freaking sexy. Wears purple all the time. My goodness. Who wouldn't love this guy? So you said, binge watch. So I'm pretty sure the way you become a top fan is you just show up all the time. I don't actually click anything to make someone a top fan. You just show up all the time. And then it turns you into a top fan. All right, let's see. We got all that. Cool. Yep. Paul, all right. You said I was looking for emails of people, but you mean general emails like info. Yeah, so with the emails, it doesn't really matter. All you're doing with the emails, you just look for an email and you just contact them. So it's literally imagine you're going into Walmart. I wish I would have thought of this little association earlier. Imagine you walk into Walmart and you need help with something. You absolutely do not text a friend, call your mom, whatever. You don't say, hey, I'm in Walmart. I was wondering, where do I go to find the paper cups? You don't do that. It'd be dumb as all hell. And you don't sit down and you don't say, all right, I got to figure out who's the paper cup manager in Walmart. Somebody's got to be in charge of the paper cup aisle. You don't do that. What you do is you just say, oh, you're in a blue shirt. Hey, where's the paper cups? You just ask somebody. And if they don't know, they're just like, oh, well, so-and-so, where's the paper cups? Or maybe they'll actually ask somebody. But all you do is you ask somebody. So the same goes with actually contacting events. I don't care which email address I get. I just say, all right, there we go. Bam. I'm going to contact them and ask them, hey, who do I talk to actually get hired? That's all I'm doing. That's all you do. Literally the same as if you go to Walmart. It's why I tell people or tell speakers, don't ask me who do I contact to get hired. Instead, use those exact same words that you sent to me, that you emailed me, copy and paste those exact same words, send it to somebody who can hire you. Then they'll tell you. Don't ask me that, ask them that. And so literally be like, if you go into Walmart, you text a friend or family member, hey, where are the paper cups? They're gonna be like, I don't know, dummy. You talk to someone who doesn't work there, hey, where are the paper cups? I don't know, dummy. And then all of a sudden you're just like, you know what? I don't care who I talk to, as long as they're wearing a blue shirt. Hey, you. And then bam, you just talk to somebody and they'll tell you. Same goes with actually finding events or finding the email addresses. It doesn't really matter. You just say, here's an email address. Hey, who hires speakers? That's all you're doing. All right, so we got that. It's a campaign feature. Oh yeah. And so Wani, by the way, so with Yesware, I recommend the $55 a month version, because what you want to do is, if you send out email number 1 and they don't respond, if you don't have the $55 a month version, you have to follow up yourself. So you got to set a follow-up date. You got to follow up yourself. If you have the $55 version, it just follows up for you. So you just set up a sequence for it to follow up, and then bam, it just follows up. So I recommend doing that version with Yesware. So let's see. He said, sent out emails yesterday to the Atlanta synagogues. One came back, would love to hear details. What should the response be to that? I was going to ask, what do you want to know? Well, no. So now, you pitch them. So your pitch, you send them the pitch, send them to the website. What people always want to know with the details is your website. That's every single time someone says, if anyone expresses any type of interest whatsoever, what do you charge? Or love to hear the details. We may consider, we've hired people in the past. Any type of thing where they don't say no, then you send them the pitch every single time. Remember, it's the pipeline every single time. The pipeline in the beginning is you find events, it's prospecting, you send out email number 1. If they respond to email number 1, you then pitch. So they say, I'm in charge or whatever. Love to hear details of the event. You pitch after the pitch, and then you go from there in terms of incoming questions, quote, contract, close, all that sort of stuff. And so that's what you're doing. You always get them to your website, no matter what. So let's see. All right. You said the info definitely yields responses. All right. So no sucky ass emails a day. Yep. So you say, good. I have the middle grade. I'll update to the $55 level. All right, cool. Yeah, so the $55, I recommend that just because of it'll save you a gang load of time, to be honest, with the follow-up. Just make sure your follow-up is good. If your emails sound like spam, it doesn't matter how many you send out. Actually, then if you send out 1 million a day, somebody's going to respond. But for everyone watching this, we're not going to be sending out a million emails a day. So if your emails suck, then you can send out 100 emails a day. But if it looks like you copied and pasted an email, then you will not get a response. I want to stress that. If you are copying and pasting your emails, that is why you're not getting booked. Literally. Do not copy and paste your damn emails. Templates are just templates. You simply use a template so it guides you on what to say, but you cannot templatize a conversation. You just can't. Every conversation has variations within it. Now, obviously, some conversations will go in a similar way, but everything has a variation to it. And so that's why you use templates, but you do not copy and paste and just send it. Like, you don't do that. So just keep that in mind. All right. So those are the ways to actually find events. So we are not doing a Facebook Live tomorrow or Thursday because I'm leaving for this workshop. I got to do this thing. So we won't be doing a thing Wednesday or Thursday. I will see you guys Friday and then the Monday after that. So let's see if there are any final questions. All right. And then on Instagram, I think we got 20 billion people on Instagram. All right. Cool. All right. So we are good to go for today. I will see you guys Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Take care, everybody. Adios.